Okay, sorry about that. My phone just went totally flat right near the end of the Cancer reading. So we'll continue. Um, Praying for snow because I've got work tomorrow. And I work in Wales and they're due like 6 centimetres of snow through the night tonight. So I am loving life. Let's see what happens. It's only the teachers in tomorrow, it's not the kids. Okay, so just to recap, it seemed like the reading could have been one of two things. I thought you, Cancer, and your person are trying to manifest a partner in. Okay, I don't think you know each other. And I ascertained that the devil that your person has as their challenge is that they don't trust, because they've got Pisces with the moon, and it's about walking forward even when you're scared. They got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, you see, so they're not wanting to move towards someone with the intention of investment. They don't feel like they should do that, or like they've got enough to offer. So they've been staying in like a Queen of Wands energy, which is like a third party, the other woman, the other guy, non-committal, like very sexy energy. And I found this on the floor. It was the Two of Cups that was under my chair face down. So whether that was reversed or upright, I don't know. But this person is actually the Empress. Okay, that's what they got for the outcome, but that's in the challenge position because they're not kind of getting into a scenario where they can be the Empress, and be settled and give birth to children, literally, or, create from zero and be truly settled. What threw me off was like we got cards like cosmic wisdom, revelations, separation, dream, safety, and that was after you with the you had the 10 of Wands as the challenge, you had the 4 of Wands reversed with the 6 of Cups upright, the 3 of Pentacles, so wanting to work together with a soulmate because there's instability. You were showing up as the King of Pentacles, very practical, wanting to deal with earthly matters. The Miser, the 4 of Pentacles, which is like holding on tightly to money, or being possessive. Now, because of the cards that came out at the end, I've sort of moved away because there was the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. I thought maybe you were trying to manifest love and stability, but struggling financially because there's so many pentacles here. But you got Dream came out, which is follow your yearning for the deep blue sea, which is like you're inside something. Like if you're in a marriage or a living situation with someone already, whatever your current situation is, that feels like a goldfish bowl to you, and you're looking out at the deep blue sea and you wish you were like free again. And then this one, safety, was the other advice that Spirit gave you, which was don't be too proud to go back to shore. So that always comes out when someone's like kind of made their bed. You haven't got to just lie in it. If you've picked poorly or you've got yourself into something, you can get yourself out of it. You haven't got to stay in it. You could apply that to anything. You never ever have to, just because you choose something doesn't mean you got to stay in it. So you could take it one of two ways, like You could already be in a marriage or living situation that you want to get out of. Perhaps this person was a soulmate once, but now it's time to separate. It says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And Spirit's asking you to follow your own intuition. It's not that you need to like worry what people think or what you think of yourself for changing your mind. And the other one is like you're struggling financially, they're struggling trust wise because they're being cheated on or they've got used to kind of like being non-committal, and you're both afraid of like and you're manifesting, you know, like each other. I don't know which one it is. It could be different groups, you know, where those things are applicable. If the advice hadn't have been what it is, I wouldn't have really said that. I would have said separation is like, it's not so literal. You know, we're dealing with people who are keeping themselves separate or they're striving not to be separate, but it's difficult for different challenges. But then with the advice was like, don't be too proud to go back to shore. Follow your yearning for the deep blue sea. It feels like if you've plumped for being with someone, you don't have to stay with them forever. No one's saying you've got to. You know, people like, you know, agree to proposals and they get engaged and they get a house together, and then someone turns out to be a monster. That's not your fault, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you haven't got to go, oh, well, I've picked an house, so I've got to stay here. No. If someone reveals their nasty side once you've got married or once they've secured a house with you, if they turn, that's nothing to do with you. That's just them being a freak. You know, a narcissist may be a love bomber or a charmer. I'm not saying this is your story, but it's an example of why you should never say, well, you've done it now. We spent a load of money on your wedding now, kids, so you're going to have to get married. You don't do that to people because you don't know what they've got themselves into that you're telling them they've got to stay in it. It's a very old-fashioned thing to say, but it's how some parents today might think. You know, or we're very like conscious of status, aren't we, and assets and like financial losses. You know, people might be tempted to say to you like, don't split up, don't do that because it'll be a loss of money for you and you'll have to start over. You know, on the housing ladder, it's like, who gives a fuck? What, I'm supposed to live this every single day and be like miserable because you don't want me to start on a property ladder again? No, that should not be why people make decisions, but it is because like people are scared of starting over again, or they're too proud. You know, they're worried like their ego's not going to be like as inflated after like starting over. Who cares? You can't. You know, it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it, when you're doing a love reading, to even discuss like staying in something after finding out someone's a monster or someone doesn't really love you. After you realise that, why on earth would anyone tell you to stay in it? Why would you stay in it yourself? But people do these things because of earthly matters, so, or pride or embarrassment, like the sheer embarrassment of it. But it's like, no. 6 months later, no one's going to care, I promise you. Anyway, so Cancer, that is like what came out. Um, let's tell you what, let's see what comes out in the advice from this deck. Personal journey, that's what I'm talking about. Stop worrying what people think. It doesn't matter. I follow what feels right within me without needing validation from others. We are each on our own journey, and mine does not need to look like anyone else's. My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough. Okay, so that's really creepy because I feel like I manifested out a card after me talking about that stuff. But You just do. All anyone can do is what they feel is right at the time. And if you happen to feel differently about it afterwards, it's okay. You know, always give people a get out. Never ever say to a son or a daughter, well, we've spent the money on the wedding now, so you've got to stay in it, because you don't know what they found out. You don't know what they've been treated like. People are bizarre, you know. I don't know, just feel the need to like give a warning there. I don't think what you're trying to get away from is this person on the other side. I don't think you're trying to get away from them. I think you're trying to manifest in someone who's also afraid of commitment but wants it. I don't know, there's an inkling of a third party with this Queen of Wands and the Empress. Different stories, because obviously it's a collective reading, so there's thousands and thousands of people that are going to be living these, these kinds of stories. But your advice from Spirit as a collective is dream whatever you want and follow your dreams, whatever they may be, okay? And if you change your mind, that's okay. We'll cut it off there, because for some reason, I'm going on and on tonight. And we'll go on to Leo. My nephews are in school tomorrow, and it's still snowy outside, so I don't know. We'll have to see if the school's open in the morning, because there's going to be more snow through the night. Hey, why is that hiding under there? Right, I'm going to double check the floor around me, because there was a card under the seat earlier. It was from the reading, but... Right. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Leo's highest good. How is Leo feeling in this second week of January with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting? 3 cards, please. Right, you have got the 3 of Cups reversed. Ooh, and the 3 of Swords upright. Heartbreak. That is not cause for celebration. Heartbreak. You might have found out that someone's cheated, or they're playing the field, or they've got multiple options. It doesn't have to be the case, though. Just looking at the 3 of Cups, it can speak to 3 people, 3 parties. sometimes, people let their parents get in the middle of things, or other relatives offend you and they don't back you up, or, you know, someone can be like allowing a crazy boss, to split up the marriage, or like something like this. We've got the Ace of Cups, so that in this context, that will be healing. It will be your love for yourself, okay? Because of the cards that we've had out, I wouldn't expect you to be in love. You would first be upset and heal, you know. One more for Leo's feelings in the second week of January, please. The Chariot, major for Cancer, going after what you want. The Queen of Swords, telling it like it is. We tend to do that after we've been heartbroken. Someone's hurt us deeply. We stop having a filter. And it's like, well, I'm not fucking afraid. I'm going to say what I want and what I need. And I'm not sugarcoating it for anyone. You tend to have really strong boundaries after you've had your heart crushed because you couldn't take another, like, punch in the gut. Do you know what I mean? Your heart's being walked over. You put up major walls for good reason, because you need time to heal, and there's no way you're letting a fuck boy or a fuck girl mess with you, or anyone who thinks they're gonna, like, dominate you, or like not listen to what you want or what you need, or waste your time. You're not having it. Okay, that's the Queen of Swords. Can also be the Queen of Swords. Can also be, it's strong air energy. It can be a divorce card, like, severing ties once and for all. And then we've got the King of Cups reversed. So you could be feeling very cold-hearted. Okay, that kind of fits with the Queen of Swords energy, which is like truth, integrity, bluntness, boldness. She's like, walk forward then and I'll chop your head off. And I can do it with this sword, or I can do it with my mouth, like telling you what I really think of you. King of Cups is like upright. It's someone very caring, very sympathetic, very empathetic, very patient. But reverse, they could be very cold, very, very cold, unforgiving. Okay. Yeah, she's cracking that whip and she's got that sword ready, and it's like, those cups are like, it's like, I'm emptying my cup because that used to hold love for you, doesn't anymore. This is definitely for Leo, who's being betrayed, big style. This is not your reading if you're kind of like not dealing with anyone, or it's your reading if this is what happened to you in the past. It feels, I'm not gonna lie, it feels very third party, like you found out someone's cheating on you, or someone love bombed you and then made out like, there was potential for like all kinds, and then it just turns into a big fat no, and it like was really out of nowhere. It's like a huge disappointment, a huge heartbreak, a huge loss, and then just going cold, like, but for good reason, because like someone's fucking broke your heart into pieces. So that could be like your energy because of what happened in the past. Like, to be honest, you could feel like that for like 3 or 4 months, or 5 months, or you could feel like that for 12 months. Depends like how broken your heart is. Like if you were with someone for a few years, or you in a marriage, you could never forgive someone. And so you just no filter now, but mostly you soften up. You start to soften up as life moves on. You know, you get flirty with other people, and you don't forget and you don't forgive, but you just move on because life has to. Um, you start to remember the good times again, but you know, it's only once the pain kind of fades away, really. And it seems like you're in a lot of pain still. Or at least if you're not in pain, you know, you are just like on guard, like seriously. So if that's resonating for you know, major serious breakup, devastation in the last 12, like 6 to 12 months, or it could be happening like people drop bombshells at the worst times. I've been breaking up with like over Christmas while away on holiday with them and all the family. Like, are you for real? Someone could have broken up with you at New Year, like, oh, they've been like contemplating life, you know, like moving forward, and they've like just broken up with you. Like, I don't know, it'll be different timelines for different people. But I don't think this is something from years ago, unless you were married for many years, which I haven't experienced. But I've seen on programs like First Dates, people have never got over, you know, like someone just, it's how people do it as well. Like someday, like someone just walks out the door and they're gone. They say they're going out to work and they'll see you tonight and they just never come back. I would never get over that. I'd never shut up about that. Like I'd make everyone listen to that night and day. I come not process that. Do you know what I mean? Right, the death card, something's unfinished because that's come out in the challenge for the one you're thinking about dealing with or manifesting. Major for Scorpio. There could be a Scorpio. Doesn't have to be. You could have Cancer placements. I once went out with a Leo that has Cancer moon. The Devil upright. Oof. Major for Capricorn. The Devil is codependency, addiction, obsessive thoughts, obsessive behaviours, unhealthy thoughts, unhealthy behaviours. The Judgment is the challenge. It feels like someone's being bitter and holding on to the past. I don't know if this is someone that you're not aware of yet because you're busy kind of healing, and you're going to meet someone that has also had a bad ending and can't let go, or if this is the one that finished with you and they can't kind of move on. I tell you what, in instances where people have been caught cheating, they find it very difficult to forgive themselves afterwards. For obvious reasons, doesn't really need explaining. They just realise that they're a bad person and they'll be judged for what they've done. They judge themselves for what they've done. Let's get 3 for the outcome. 10 of Cups, upright. Ten of Swords reversed. That's just the same as 10 of Cups upright, really, isn't it? End of one cycle. Oops. Achievement of, you know, familial, like that wider family picture, ultimate fulfillment. 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior, is the challenge. So they come out together? Or not? No, I don't think they did they? I think you're going to go on to be happy and they're going to really struggle to forgive themselves. I think they're going to be the wounded warrior. The wounded warrior. Why the devil, please? Why the devil for Leo's person? Oh, I don't know why I do that. Sound like the kids. Just says so many things with a sound. Someone's lied and been sneaky. Change of residence, moving in with your partner. They've been going to someone else's house. Well, it does give cheating vibes, doesn't it? It really does. This reading's for Leo that's been cheated on. That's what I'm sort of like getting the vibes of. They're gonna be judged for what they did. They can't move on from it. They're obsessed with it. Meanwhile, you're gonna have the Ten of Cups. Sometimes people, when they lose something special, they enhance it in their minds as like, oh, that person was perfect, like put you up on a pedestal. Where like maybe the connection was fine, but it's gone. Like the Disney aspect is gone, and you're not interested in it now because you're showing up as like someone who's cracking that whip, chasing people out of their home and ready to chop off some bollocks or, you know, lady parts. Like it's not a messing kind of thing. It's like major movement. These are major arcana, the Chariot. Like after heartbreak there's been healing, and then, you know, we've got this like third party vibe, like someone has cheated with the heartbreak. You know, that's what caused the heartbreak. So very rarely do people take people back when they find that out. It's too much of a betrayal. How dare you have the audacity to do that? Are you going to do it again? Has there been others? Like, why are you cheating? What are your reasons? Are you not happy? You know, like, there's no way I could get that out of my head and stay with someone. But then I'm just me, you know, a 39-year-old that hasn't been married, hasn't had children. Maybe if you've cultivated all of that with someone, maybe there's too much to give up on, too many memories, too much achieved. I'd rather forgive them and have them live, you know, separately but co-parent, and like for the children's sake, I don't think I would want them anywhere near me, but I don't know. I can't speak for you. I can only say what the cards say, which is like pissed off to high hell. um, Maybe that's the challenge. Like, maybe it's like, am I gonna move on and have my Ten of Cups, or am I gonna stay bitter about this? Am I gonna be the Ten of Swords reversed and stay angry and stay cold because of what someone else did to me? I do feel like that's the X, to be honest. Because why would anyone who's done that come towards you? You can't manifest in something like that. Spirit can send it to you. But if they're showing up in your energy and you've been majorly betrayed, the cards that are coming out in the same places are on the same time frame. Like, they could have gone back to their ex. They could have, or they could have cheated with someone new. But it's like, been doing something. Yeah, let's do this one first because they don't mess about in this oracle. What's the advice for Leo? Move. Barnacles only grow on a docked ship. Get the hell out, guys. pack up the bags and throw them onto the lawn. That was very conclusive, that was. If this hasn't happened to you, don't worry about it. It can't happen from you watching this live or watching this video later on. Sometimes it's nice just to look at the advice if this has happened to you or someone that you know. Spirit gives advice. It's quite nice just for the advice cards. Mirror and guidance system. Mirror, in order to change my life outside, I need to change inside. Once I am open to this change, my exterior reality will begin to mirror those new shifts. So it's about thinking and feeling differently about yourself. That's when you're going to get some really good karma, and spirit will reward you for that really like shadow work, you know, that you do. Like if you start putting your CV out where you've been putting off doing that, you'll start manifesting a better future for yourself. And obviously you'll get like replies, because in a 3D sense, if you've sent out emails with your CV and a really good cover letter to lots of places, you will get something back by the law of chance. But what spirit will do is reward that good behaviour and that effort, and that 3D manifestation, and they'll put aces behind it, so you'll get offered the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new job, you know, but like in a workplace where they'll really rate you and really like build you up and encourage you and catch you when you fall, and like, do you know what I mean? Like you'll have like a spate of good luck if you do shadow work. And shadow work is just thinking about what's been holding you back and doing positive things to change it. And you could apply that to anything. Okay. Guidance system. I love using my emotions as a guidance system. They show me how close or far away I am from what I want. When I'm feeling joy and doing the things that I love, I'm in a state of allowing for my desires. I notice when I'm feeling low vibrational thoughts and shift them to release resistance. I guess I'd take that as like an example is, if I was like, I've been in a job before that I've fucking hated. And I hated going to work. I hated everyone at the workplace. I was really having to push myself to be there. I'd left working with children, had like a crisis, and thought I'll just work in business. And, you know it will take a while to work my way up. It'll be great. Maybe I'll just, be really good at that as well. And it was horrendous. I hated it. And I knew I hated it. And I stayed there for a year thinking it'll look bad on my CV if I don't, but it was shit. And I went back to working with children. But you'll know, like, how do you feel when you do a job? Do you ever get job satisfaction? No one loves every single day that they work, but I love tarot and I feel happy when I do tarot. I can feel a range of emotions, but I mostly just feel really fulfilled. Like, I know it's not the only thing my body needs, because my body needs to move. And that's the only bad thing about doing tarot, like, readings so much, is like I have to make time to move. But that's more about my own mentality. When I go swimming, I feel dead childlike and happy. If I do something like tennis, I really enjoy it. I find it really fun. Volleyball, same. What I don't enjoy and what I don't like is, say if someone said I really want to do a bungee jump, like, I think you should do it because, everyone does it, it'll be for charity. I know that that would make me really distressed, really upset. It might be something really thrilling for someone else to do, but not everyone loves the thrill of danger. Not everyone is fearless or loves, like, skiing. I hate skiing. I've done it twice. I know I don't want another skiing holiday. I hate it. I'm shit at it. a shit house going inside the mountain, going down the side of a mountain. Um, I can't control the skis that well. I throw myself down on purpose because I'm scared. Um, don't get me wrong, I love a snowmobile and I love a spa and an après ski, but there's no fucking way you're getting me on skis ever again because it's like ice skating and roller skating. It's just like different things are enjoyable to different people and different things are horrible and hateful to other people. So someone might love business and hate being a teacher or a tarot reader. Do you know what I mean? You need to listen to your emotions because somehow spirit's saying you've turned them off. Um, if you're being advised to listen to how you feel, if you feel anxious before you do a particular thing, there's something in that, and you're not to ignore it or pretend that that isn't the way that you feel. I'm not saying like if you're nervous before a job interview, don't go. You like do go because that's just natural, isn't it? Because you're like a lot's riding on this, and what if you do get it? Do you know what I mean? You can feel like you'd made an ass of yourself, and then they offer you the job. So and vice versa. But if something isn't, if something isn't making you feel good, like a relationship or going back to someone isn't making you feel good, or trying to trust someone you know has already let you down doesn't make you feel good, then just listen to your internal guidance system, okay? Because when it comes to love, it's always accurate. People show you who they are. Is someone like the best, absolute best relationships I've had? That person from day one turned up, picked where we were going. They turned up, they drove, or they booked a taxi. Everything was taken care of. They weren't saying, where do you want to go? Or should we just meet there? Like, no. And they weren't just leaving me hanging after the date. They were like, make sure I got home safe. They'd text me to say thank you so much for like letting me spend time with you. When someone's doing those things, you know it's a sure thing. You know that you've got a good one. And it makes you feel like a princess, or, you know, vice versa. If it's a girl and you've gone to a big effort and or a woman, you've gone to a big effort, you know, you've picked her up in a taxi, or you're doing the driving and you've picked somewhere really nice for you to go. If you've put that time in, guys, like, that girl is going to be yours. It doesn't matter whether you're average looking or gorgeous. If you put shit amounts of effort in, or no effort, or you don't make her feel cared for, you let the door go in her face or walk ahead of her, you don't deserve to have her. What the fuck are you doing? You're being a knob. And that's her indicator. Like, this is someone that's interested in me, or this is someone that's an arsehole. And that's his test a lot of the time, is like, oh, she's putting up with that, so good for this one to put up with anything. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes guys are good, but they do bad things because, you know, you allowed it. So, like, if you have high standards and you say, like, no, I'm not telling you where to take me, we just organise it and pick me up, and I want you to knock on the door, meet my parents. If they're happy to do all that, then they're kind of like, shit, she's got me, like, doing all this stuff for her. And guys quite like it. It's weird. It's never not worked when I've made people do that, and when I haven't, it's gone shit. You know, because they're getting, like, those indications that, like, I'll put up with whatever if I don't set the standard, kind of thing. So I don't even know why I started talking about that. It was this, wasn't it? Like, how the different things make you feel at different times, and like make sure you are listening to that and using that as your guidance. If I go on a date with a guy and I get indications that he's not asked, should I ignore it and do it anyway because I don't want to be seen as sad not going on a date, or should I do it anyway because other people think that everything should be 50-50 and it doesn't really mean anything? No, like, follow your own Because like I was talking about the different hobbies and different things, some people might prefer to be, different to that, but you have to listen to what makes you happy. I think I'm just going on so much tonight. um. Anyway, Spirit's advice was to walk away from whatever this shitty mess is. Any more advice for Leo, please? If this is resonating for Leo and they've had the heartbroken and been cheated on. Continuous growth. Embrace continuous growth for the personal and spiritual development. So you might think, what I've achieved in the 3D, I'm going to lose if I walk away from a marriage or a mortgage or kids. You're not. You are evolving and you're learning to co-parent from different houses where someone betrayed your trust. That sounds like growth to me. And spiritual growth blows economic growth out of the water. No one should be making decisions on love based on finances, and that's just a fact. Oh my god, that's a bit creepy, that card. What is that? Eye of awareness. So it's the third eye. Gain deep insight into yourself and the world through awareness. So you might you may be spiritual, okay, but you might get little signs or synchronicities or indications that, okay, an example, if you're spiritual, you know, you agree that you're gonna like meet up to kind of have a chat with this person. They've said, please, will you just agree to meet me? We'll talk it out. Like, I just want you to hear what I've got to say. I want to meet in person. Like, they're serious. So you like, at least they've been an adult about it. I want to hear what they've got to say. You try to meet up with them and the road's blocked. So you take another turn and then something else happens. You get a flat tire or and it just feels like you're not meant to like meet that day. That's on purpose, like when things like that happen, that's on purpose. The divine didn't want you to reconcile with them or weaken and take them back. So I don't mean like ever saw like 666 or like indications like that. I mean like literal roadblocks are being put in your way to get back with this person. And I wouldn't say get with them unless that happens. I would say you shouldn't be taking someone back that's cheated, because if someone cheated, it's because they're not happy. Okay. So they might be afraid to be single. They might be sad that the family dynamic would be different and the living situation would be different after divorce. They might have an ego like battle and think, well, I don't want to live in a smaller place. But none of those are good reasons to stay together. You stay together because you're madly in love. And if you're madly in love, you don't look anywhere else. You can be in love with someone that stopped sleeping with you years ago and just wish that they would start sleeping with you again. But if you've got to the point where you're having sex with other people, I'm sorry, but like that's not a good idea, is it? To like expect someone to take you back after that. Like, take your own indications. Like, whoever's doing that is ignoring their own what's it called, guidance system. Their heart wants something that the head won't allow, so then they're cheating, and it's just not helpful, is it? It doesn't solve anything. picked from there. Tell you what, because your advice was to move away from this person, I know it'll probably say something like don't focus on time frames because you've got healing to do, but let's just ask anyway. When's Leo going to meet someone worthwhile? Distract yourself from the waiting game. Divine timing is at play. So, you are being aligned with someone. You're not allowed to know who it is yet. Okay, and Spirit has got the driving seat. Okay, so you are, I like that. You are in the passenger seat at the moment for good reason. And when you've done your homework and you've listened to your inner guidance, you're living your best life. Okay, following your gut on things, trusting your heart, trusting your own judgment, seeking out things that are good for you, and getting rid of things out of your life that are bad for you. Spirit's gonna bring you someone that's made for you, that's meant for you. Okay, they've got someone in mind probably already, but a lot of things have to line up to then make it happen, and it's only when you're ready. Okay, but it's quite nice to know that it's all in hand, I think, because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, don't we? Like, I don't like the tarot readers that say you've been sitting in the house too much and how do you expect to meet anyone if you don't go out? That's bollocks. It's all written. What's this new person in the future? What are they going to love about Leo? The one that they're divinely guided to be with, that Spirit's got in mind for them. What are they going to love about Leo? Oh, that's so sweet. I want you to be happy, even if that means being without me. That's true love. That is true love. That's like a parent that's brought up their child until they're like in their 20s and lets them go and live abroad instead of blackmails them and say, well, you won't get a part of the family business in the future, if you do this now. Or you won't get, like the second house that's on our like premises, or one of the rentals if you go away to be a pilot, or you're not going to get, a lot of people are really naughty and they don't want their kids to leave, so they emotionally blackmail them or financially blackmail them. You can't leave me, I'm old, what's going to happen to me? So, this person is the kind of person that if they thought it meant you being happy, they would let you go. Or if they thought that it meant you were going to be really happy, they would, give up their own life for you, or, something like this. Like, if it's like save me or save them, save them. Like, it's beautiful. It's unconditional love, like how a parent loves a child. I'm a better person because of you. I feel more optimistic and full of life. That's beautiful. So this person, when they meet you, they're going to feel like, Leos are very good at being romantic. They're very good at that. You're very good at planning dates and looking great, smelling great, feeling great. You're very confident. You've got like clear goals. You know how to make your person feel special. So it's going to make this person feel really optimistic. The fact that you're going to do all that lovely stuff that Leos do by just being you. Oh, that's clairsentience. That's making me feel like I want to start crying, but like, happy tears. That's beautiful. Just follow your heart, Leo. Can't go wrong if you follow your heart. What will be the nature of the relationship when Leo meets this new person? Because why not? It'll be a relationship that is not easy, okay? You will have to learn each other's love language. Okay, so when that initial romantic phase kind of wanes, don't give up on it, Leo. Don't get bored with it, okay? Mundane is a good thing. It's stability, it's security, and it's with someone that absolutely adores you, that, you know, wants you to be happy unconditionally. Like, if it meant being without them, they would say, yeah, they love you. So, and they see a lot of good in you. So make sure you listen to them, okay? When you meet that person and you're working on a relationship with them, and it gets out of that like initial lovey-dovey romantic, you know, infatuation stage, do the hard work to make that work, okay? That relationship, because all relationships need maintaining, okay, and healing, and we all have to like work really hard to like keep respecting each other and listening to what each other wants and thinking about not just how we romance a person, but what we're saying to them, how we're being with them. Okay, so finally up to Virgo. I've been just going on and on tonight. I have no idea why. Sometimes I'm really concise, and today I'm just wittering on about shit. Maybe I've not seen enough people. I'll be tired of communication once I'm back at work. Maybe not tomorrow so much, but when the kids are back, I'll be like, oh my God, shut up. I basically did a live where you could hear the sound for Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. But then when I downloaded the reading, you couldn't hear the sound for those 4 signs. So I had to film them again, like film new readings, and posted them like only yesterday and the day before. So that's why I'm not doing them on this live, because you would get the same energy, wouldn't you? Nothing would have changed between yesterday and today. You need a bit of life to happen. So if you're tuning in and you're not the signs that are, you know, written on the screen, then check out the recent tab for the videos. They're like pre-recorded ones, because yours, I've only just done them like in the last 24 hours. Libra, and that's been a few days, but I can't do any more tonight. It's late. It's like 11 o'clock here or later. So we just thought I'll do the first 6 signs, give it a few days, because like, yeah, we need some life to happen. I don't want to post recordings for like Libra to Pisces and then do more like 24 hours later. That's stupid. You just get the same shit coming out. Okay, what am I doing? Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Virgo's highest good. How is Virgo feeling in the second week of January 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards, please. The Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. That's a huge confession. Very well thought out. Air energy. Very cerebral, truthful, full of integrity. And eight of wands is fast action, progress. Okay. So Virgo, I think you've got a confession to make, or something really profound and important that you want to tell someone. You want things to heal and get better, or you want progress, you want things to develop forward, you want change. Okay. You want growth. Eights are numbers of growth. Ones are new starts. You're really thinking about this a lot, very, very carefully. It's not done on a whim. A King of Swords does everything after thorough research, lots of thought, lots of thinking things through, lots of care and attention in how it's said and the way that it's delivered. Right, the Hierophant reverse. So you're regretful about actions, because the Hierophant upright is the teacher. It's someone who's lived so many harsh lessons that they're now ready to teach others. They don't want other people to suffer the things that they've suffered. So they try to share their wisdom with others. Very, very wise teacher. When the Hierophant's reverse, it's like, I was a fool, I was silly, I did the wrong thing, I regret my actions, I haven't learnt my lessons. Okay, so I do feel like you're offering an apology to someone, Virgo. Doesn't have to be. Could be an admission, a confession, or you've had a revelation about something. There's something major, something important that involves progress, growth, and some kind of foolish past action. The Two of Wands reversed. The Two of Wands upright is someone who has made a choice. Okay, I'm going in this direction, or I'm going in that direction. I'm going to go out with that person, or I'm going to go out with that person. I'm going to move to that country or move to that country. It's a choice, A or B. Okay, apply it to whatever. When that's reversed, it's like you're undecided, or you refuse to make a choice, or you regret the choice you made. Because the Two of Wands should progress to the Three of Wands, and instead we've got the Two of Wands reversed, so it's like going back on something you decided. Let's get three for your person. They've got the Nine of Swords reversed, so they're being released from, you know, like long nights where you sit kind of biting your fingernails, worrying about stuff, or you got tummy aches and you can't stop the tummy aches, or you got a headache, or you're tossing and turning. It's like high anxiety, fear, intrusive thoughts that are stopping you from sleeping. Like 9 can only be is superseded the right word, can only be followed by 10. So the 10 of Swords is the end of the cycle because it's reached its maximum, and this is 9. But we're not doing it anymore, it's reversed. Okay, so someone stopped worrying and stopped being stressed about something. It's mental activity, okay, it's not physical. The World card's the end of a cycle. This person was stressing, but they didn't get to the end of the cycle. They stopped stressing, and that is like caused the end of the cycle. They're entering a new phase, okay? They're not worried anymore. So they've found their personal power. It's a lot of swords. Let's have a look. Let's get one more for them. They could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or have those placements in their chart. The High Priestess, upright. Yeah, they're following their intuition. They're following, their gut, and they decide not to worry anymore. Let's get 3 for the outcome. The 9 of Wands upright. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of arguments, conflicts. It's the wounded warrior, the 9 of Wands. Someone's prepared to keep going despite the challenges, but there's been a lot. The 4 of Cups reversed, becoming open to offers again. The 9 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, this person doesn't want to be single. So instead of kind of like digging their heels in or dragging their feet and staying bitter, they're not gonna, okay? They're full of forgiveness. If this is an apology that you want to give to someone, they forgive you, okay? Or you're apologizing because you don't want, them to like want to be single because you don't want to be single. You could have Taurus in your chart, or it could just be part of your story. It's like not being too wise, too grounded. 4 of Pentacles is the challenge. You're trying to conserve stability. You want to get stability back. I do feel like, because Virgo is very perfectionist and intelligent and witty, you can hurt people's feelings sometimes. You're extremely nurturing, you're the maiden, but you can be a bit mean girl, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can be opposite. You have insanely high standards, which you hold yourself to, but when you hold other people to those, can be hard for a partner to contend with that all the time, if that's the energy all the time. And it obviously won't be, but I just feel like something's gone down and you want to apologise and make it right. Okay, that's what it's giving. Or you've had some sort of clarity, major clarity on how to make things better going forward, and you're reflecting on the past. If we just like speak very generally, and you would regretting some sort of decision or something that was said or some sort of plan that you had, like you're willing to like backtrack or rethink it, or compromise, because it's just not as important as the marriage or the relationship. Why did Virgo's person have the 9 of Swords? Even though it's now reversed, why did they have it? It's something to do with moving house. Maybe you're someone that likes a project, you're very innovative, very much a visionary, very creative, you love to move house or property develop, or you've got ideas for business, or like, you're like a top player when it comes to being entrepreneurial. And I think something to do with moving had this person upset, okay, or you might have dissed the place that you're currently living in some way and taken it for granted or like bitched about it somehow, and it's really hurt your person's feelings. It's something to do with a house or a home, um, or you somehow made this person feel like they want to move, or that's really sad. You could have done that without really realising. Do you know what I mean? Or it might not be as dramatic as that, to be honest, but their guts telling them to like let go whatever they were annoyed with or stressed about. What's the nature of this relationship, please? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. If you've been like self-deprecating, um, like depreciative of your own achievements, and they happen to be your person's achievements as well, that's offensive by default. Okay. So you might put yourself down or wish that things had happened differently, but you're like saying that to someone who's being part of those decisions or being part of that life. So you got to be very careful with the things that you say and who you say it to and how you say it, okay? Because as I say, you hold yourself to high standards, but in being self-deprecating, you know, if you're in a union with someone, it's like you're shitting on them by default. Do you know what I mean? You might not consciously like be trying to hurt them, but the result is the same. What advice have you got for Virgo, please? Advice for Virgo. Oh my god, that's freaky. That's so freaky. Self-appreciative. I will find a moment throughout that's freaky. Oh my god. Right, just read one. I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself, find a comfortable space and bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself, where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. Oh my god. So sometimes like you project your insecurities onto the person you love, not because they've like done anything, but they're the one that's around you the most, right? The people we live with are the people that we project our insecurities onto. So don't kind of like negate all the achievements of your life if someone's been achieving those things with you. Um, what you've achieved in your life, Virgo, so far is impressive. By anyone's standards, it's impressive by your standards, and you need to say that to yourself. Okay. You might even like never have had a thought like this before, but a spirit's guiding you to um focus in on this aspect of yourself, okay, and work on it, because then you'll stop projecting these self-depreciative thoughts, projecting them out to others, okay, because it's hurting them. and the things that you've achieved are like people are in awe of it, whether it be a beautiful home or beautiful children, or you've got lovely parents or you had lovely parents, um whether you have like a really great circle of friends, great circle of acquaintances, um whether you've got a cracking figure or you know how to dress. Be proud of your life. Don't put it down because it's making other people feel like they're not good enough, and what you've achieved together is not good enough. Okay, so it might be a bit of a habit that you need to break out of and work on. Inspiration board. If I am ever feeling down or bored, I spend time creating a vision board to place in my home. I fill it with quotes, pictures, and desires that bring me inspiration and joy. So I know this about Virgos. You've got so like high standards and you've got loads of projects on the go. You're like really, really cerebral and very um creative. You're a visionary. Like, you would know how to renovate a home, you would know how to remodel the home, you would know what you would tell the architect what you want. Do you know what I mean? Everything's done with care and attention and research and taste and style and vision. So sometimes what you actually need is focus and more goals, newer goals. Once you've reached a goal, you need to create more for yourself, and they can't be things that negate what you've achieved so far. They need to complement or move forward from. And obviously, if you're in a union with someone, you have some like conversations to have about, you know, whether you should move. Like, don't just, do things in a thoughtful way, but maybe there's the projects that you can work on or things that you can busy yourself with where you have got full dominion over um, that task, or that, like my tarot's for me. Like, it's not for anyone else to like say, well, don't think you should put that there. It's mine, it's not anyone else's. So I've got full dominion over it. It's because I do creative stuff like this because I miss having that outlet. I work in high school now, I teach English, I teach geography. We don't do making stuff. So when I worked in early years, I was making stuff all the time. I'm a Taurus, I'm creative. Me and my mum were Taurus and Virgo. We have really good taste and we love nature and we love stuff and we love style and we love colour and texture and pattern and interior design. Like, we're both really good. Like, we've got really good crossovers on certain things. So I kind of get her vibe with this. She gets bored easily. You've got to have projects and you've got to have outlets for your creative mind, okay? Um, or your entrepreneurial mind. Advice for Virgo, please. Advice for Virgo. Ooh, communicate. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. It's your job to articulate what it is. It's your job, Virgo, to articulate and communicate with your people around you things you're proud of that you've achieved as a family, and things that you would like to achieve going forward. Okay, because if they love you, they should encourage you and inspire you and motivate you. They shouldn't put you, if everyone around you is an energy vampire and an emotional vampire and tells you like, what's the point, or like, I can't be bothered, then maybe you need to get a new tribe. Do you know what I mean? But I think if you communicate that you need to have projects going on to keep you motivated, if you even say that once, like, I'm sure they would agree that that's absolutely fine, whether it be the garden, the kitchen, an easel, or there's so many ways that you can have outlets, isn't there? Like, there's no excuse really for kind of projection onto others out of frustration and boredom. Um, use that brilliant mind of yours, but communicate what your needs are and communicate what you're proud of. Because if you're appreciative of all the things you've achieved, that will make people around you feel settled, feel secure, feel proud as well. You wouldn't want them to be embarrassed or regretful or ashamed, or dissatisfied with what they have. That's very ungrateful. But you deserve both. You deserve to be proud and you deserve future projects. You may be someone that works until the day you die. Maybe you need to go and get a part-time job, or start up your own business. I wouldn't work for anyone else. I would start up my own business. Think about it. It's 2025. You can have a channel showing off, things that you've learned over the years, or write a book, or retrain in something totally different, go back to school. There's so much that you could do. You don't have to be confined to the four walls that you live in. You're too clever for that, you're too intelligent for that, okay? So don't confine yourself thinking it's an age thing, because some people work until the day that they die, and work isn't work if you love it. So big advice there to communicate, Virgo. Communicate your needs and also be careful how you communicate, okay, what you've achieved in life so far. Blessings of the celestial. Embrace the celestial blessings and feel the universe's grace and support. Blessings, celestial grace. Reminds me of a bug. So I think blessings are being appreciative of what you have. And it's also understanding that not everything is like down to you. You're living on a planet that's spinning thousands of miles an hour, whizzing around, the sun at thousands of miles an hour. And you've got hundreds of people around you, all with their own thoughts, minds, feelings, goals, actions. So much is going to happen and change and take place. So remember, if you are lost or you're confused, or you've upset someone, or someone's upsetting you, or you're pissed off or frustrated for some reason, remember what you've achieved in your life and how much more miraculous things that you couldn't even expect are going to happen and take place, okay? Because you just never know what's around the corner. So I'm not saying sit still and sit on your hands and do nothing, because stuff will just happen anyway. It will. But to get rid of any frustration and to fulfill your own needs, have your projects, okay, and communicate really carefully, like with the people you love and live with, that you need to have those things to, you feel frustrated otherwise, or like it's just like a creative outlet that you need because you're just but you love what you've achieved. And like, I don't know, I'm not wording it that well, but you know what I'm saying. I've said it a lot of times now. It says the universe is very graceful and very supportive of you. So you've been, I do think it's about counting your blessings, you know. You've received a lot. Think about other people and the shoes that they're walking in and the things that they're having to deal with. You haven't been given, you've been given some other shit to deal with. Everyone's been given challenges because that's how we grow and evolve and learn. But life could be a lot harder right now. Could be a hell of a lot harder. You know, like look at the people in Gaza, look at like people who've been born into, you know, an abuse situation, or like someone that's never known like where they're from, like not saying that's like the worst thing ever, but you know, for some people like they're very frustrated not to know stuff like that. They don't have a good sense of self. You know, count your blessings, like definitely. Is there anything I haven't picked from? I don't think so. I'm gonna leave it there, Virgo. I need to turn off and get ready for bed. Um, Thank you for listening. If you've tuned in, I hope you get some snow if you're in the UK somewhere and get a snow day. Fingers crossed. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.